Hello, my name is Grin, and this is my beard. Today, the crumb I'm pulling out of my beard is going to be about Japanese healthcare, specifically the yearly health check. So, everyone in Japan who lives in Japan, especially people who have a AG, uh, AGUKIN, which is a permanent resident visa, I think everybody, even people, if you're going to be here for at least a year, I think you have to take a health check, a yearly health check. And the health check is just to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Like you don't have any major problems, you're not, eating improperly or whatnot. Like your dad or your mom is still looking over you. This is a thing in Japan. Everybody has to do it. Part of the health check is to test, your weight, uh, and your diet and your um, overall health. Meaning, they do blood tests for, cholesterol levels or for uh, tonobio. I can't even think in English. Tonobio is diabetes. Diabetes. They test for diabetes and all that kind of stuff. And I recently had my health test, and they had some concerns, I guess, because this is funny because the city hall sent somebody to my house to speak to me about my results. Want to have a more in-depth conversation about my health because I'm slightly overweight and I have a slight disposition towards diabetes, meaning I took the what is it, the A1. There's a test that can a blood test that can check your glucose levels over like a 3 month period and give an average for it. And mine was like 0.01% higher than it's supposed to be. So point zero one percent or point zero one point. I don't know what point that is. Uh, Higher than average, I should say. And my father has diabetes, so he wasn't born with it. He has, I guess, his type 2 diabetes. So it's possible that I could end up having it as well, and I need to be careful. So the lady was just like, I didn't know anything about this. She just showed up, so I was like, "Who are you?" And she had to show me her badge for the city hall a couple times because I was like, "What is this about?" Didn't seem. Why are you coming to my house? Why didn't you call or anything or set an appointment or something? And I asked her to please make an appointment and talk to my wife because I'd like my wife to be there too, so she can hear the results and whatnot. And she ended up talking to me for a little bit and saying that she would, make an appointment or something like that. And she gave me this piece of paper. This is from the city hall that basically says these are the things that you should be eating and shouldn't be eating much of. Be careful about how much beer and alcohol and wine you drink, and oyatsu or um, snacks and stuff like that. How much you should and shouldn't eat. No more than this per day. No more than this per day, and you should eat all of these things every day. So 150 grams of rice, uh, or one slice of shokupan or white bread, 200 grams of noodles, no more than 80 grams of meat. Is that right? Chicken, 50 grams of egg, 80 grams of fish, 100 grams of butter. Looks like butter. Maybe it's cheese. I can't tell. Butter. Yeah. So, and lots of vegetables. There's 120 grams, 230 grams, and 280 grams of vegetables and fruit. So yeah, they really want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself and eating properly. I gotta admit, I eat too many snacks. I'm very guilty of staying up late at night and getting a hungering and eating some chips or something like that. I don't think I eat too much, but my stomach apparently says I do. At least my test does. I'm slightly overweight. Do I look different from the side? Do I? Maybe I'm a little bit fat. Maybe. But the city hall the city hall is very concerned about my health. And there's a good reason for this. Now, we have socialized healthcare here in Japan. So, if I'm not taking care of myself, then that means I'm going to end up in the hospital for various diseases or whatnot, age-related diseases or just bad lifestyle diseases like diabetes, and that's going to cost money, and that's going to cost the socialized healthcare money. So they have a vested interest in making sure that I'm taking care of myself. They suggested how much exercise I should do and whatnot. And there's the rub, the exercise part. I would love to do exercise. I have two problems that prevent me from doing exercise for an extended amount of time. I can do regular exercise. I can, climb stairs and stuff like that. But I have a messed up shoulder, which I'm going to the doctor or to a special hospital tomorrow for. And I have a messed up foot. Let me tell you the story about my messed up foot. When I was in high school, during PE, we had uh, bowling. We would play bowling, but we would set them up in the gym. We would set the pins up, one by one. We didn't have a machine to do all that stuff. So we would set up the pins and we would throw these either plastic or rubber balls down to the pins. Now, the plastic and the rubber balls, they looked very similar. One was like full plastic, very light but full plastic, and the other one was kind of like a just rubber skin. So the rubber one was pretty light, and the plastic one was about 5 times as heavy, but also very hard. So I'm setting up the pins for somebody to do their bowling, and they threw the ball before I had finished setting up the pins, and I'm like, man, don't throw the ball. And I go to kick the ball, and it wasn't the rubber one, it was the plastic one, and boom! Oh, the ball stopped, and so did my foot. And then after that was the sound of my. It messed up my foot bad. Now here's the bad thing, and my sister doesn't remember this. I went to high school with my sister. She's only 2 years older than me, so she's my senior. And when this happened, I'm in the gym while they're cleaning up, and I've got my foot up, and I've got ice all like covering my feet. And she comes in like, "What did you do? Why did you kicked a what? You dumbass!" And then she's sitting there by my foot talking to people and taking a pencil and poking my foot with the freaking pencil. And it's just so painful. I'm like, "Stop it, stop it." And she kept doing it. And I said, "Stop it." And she kept doing it. And I go, "Ah, stop poking my foot." She doesn't remember any of that though. But anyways, for I don't know, 3 weeks I was wearing or using crutches. I couldn't put any weight on my foot. It was messed up. And even now, I know that that's got to be the problem. Why I'm having such problems with with that foot specifically. Because now if I put on shoes that are or socks that are too tight, socks or shoes that are too tight, and I walk for too long of a amount of time, that foot just becomes so painful that I can't move. I have to take everything off and I have to just like put it up and not do anything because it just hurts very, very bad. And it's just been getting steadily worse and worse. And one of the worst parts about this is the reason why it's getting worse is because of my job. I'm a teacher. I'm a kids teacher too. I don't only teach adults, I teach little kids English. And most of the schools, we don't have desks and chairs that we use. We kind of like, they might have chairs, but most of the lessons are like on the floor, on not even a mat. Usually it's a wooden floor, and I have to sit seiza. Seiza is like where you just have your feet underneath you're sitting on your feet, not like Indian style where you cross your feet in front of you. Seiza puts a lot of pressure on that one foot, on the part of the foot where I kicked the bowling ball, and I do it so often. I sit down with kids so often like that it irritates that area, and it gets really bad. And how am I supposed to be able to do any kind of exercise when my foot is just killing me and my shoulder is killing me? Now, when I first came to Niigata, I used to go to the gym with my wife. We would do jogging and I would do weightlifting. And then the pain started slowly coming up. And I went to the doctor for my foot. The doctor said, "Oh, well, your right leg is shorter than your left leg. So you wear a wedge." But that didn't help the problem with my foot. It was just like, that doesn't solve the problem. Doesn't. Okay. Further story time. When I was in the United States, when I was in high school, I think this was shortly after I busted my foot. I noticed that my right foot was shorter than my left foot. I noticed it, or my right leg was shorter than my left leg, and enough to make it annoying. And I went to the doctor, and I was still what, 16, 15 or 16, so I'm still growing. I know, and that's the reason why I wanted to go to the doctor, because I know that after I become an adult, there's not a dang thing you can do about it. You can't. What am I supposed to do? Leg elongation or something? There's no procedure for that. There might be now, but it's not conventional and it's very costly and all that kind of stuff. I can't do it. Would never be covered under Japanese healthcare. Uh, Considered like cosmetic or basic lifestyle. Don't need it. So when I went to the doctor when I was 15, I told them, "Look, my leg is shorter," and they're like, "No, there's not much we can do." And I said, "Yes, there is. See, I'm still growing, so there's this procedure where you can use this kind of like radiation to stimulate the growth plate of the bone, and then that would allow that bone to, grow a little bit more than the other one." And they're like, "Oh, you know about that?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah. I do some reading and whatnot on my own." And this is the reason why I went to the doctor, uh, because I knew that I had found out about this procedure. And I needed to do it before I turned 18, I guess, because then I wouldn't be able to be covered under my mother's insurance. I had to do it before my insurance was gone. And they were like, "Nah, no, I don't think you're gonna need that. You'll be fine." No, no, still got the problem today, and it's still messing me messing me up. Could have fixed it when I was 15, but the doctors just didn't see that it would be a problem. You're probably not going to live long enough to care about it. Maybe. I don't know. I could see the future better than they could. And my future. I could see my future better than they could, and I knew it was going to be a problem and didn't get fixed. Now, this is kind of like the healthcare. My luck. This is my luck. I have terrible luck. You know, even when I try to do things to benefit my luck, it just, other people would always stop me somehow. You might look at my face. Look at my face. See my nose? Is it crooked? Yeah, there's a story for you. Uh, I my another health story, because this became a huge issue when I came to Japan. Uh, I had polyps in my sinuses. Polyps are like this growth of tissue, just extra tissue that just grows and fills up the space. And I needed to get it removed because I couldn't. It was causing me the inability to breathe. And I did this procedure about 6, 7 years ago, and now it's starting to come back again. So I probably need to do the procedure again. And it was so terrible that I don't really want to go through it again. And anyway, when I was a much younger kid, we were talking like 10 years old, I guess. My mother and my father had been divorced for a while, but my mother was getting remarried to my stepfather, who I feel is like my real father. And they were off in Reno getting married, and so my real father was taking care of us. And during that time, I had gone outside to play with the kids, and I was riding a skateboard, and I was riding it on my knees, like I don't know, just hands and knees, riding it like that. And while I was riding, I hit a pebble, like a tiny little pebble, which stopped the skateboard, and my face kept going straight into the concrete, busting my nose and blood everywhere. And I go back home to my father, and blood all over the place. He's all, "Oh my God, what the hell happened to you?" And he was like big into like Scientology and shit like that. I say that because this is what he was doing. He's like, "We got to do a contact assist," and I don't know if you have friends or family who are into that kind of stuff, but a contact assist is basically you put yourself in the same position as to when you got injured, and that's supposed to have your body remember it and change it, or some mumbo jumbo like that. So I had to go outside and put my face on the freaking concrete again, and that didn't do a damn thing for me. It was broken. It's just totally broken. And he should have taken me to the hospital because it needed to be repaired. It needed to be set and fixed. And he did not do that. And when my mom came home from their marriage, from their wedding, she was pissed at my father. I was pissed at my father, but not. I'm a little kid, so I didn't really know much. Now it's like I realize how messed up that is. How I'll always have this thing. And now that I've told you, you're always gonna notice my crooked nose. I feel like that one guy from uh, all those movies where he's like, "Wow," he's got that messed up nose thing. I can't remember his name. Great actor though. Anyways, when I came to Japan, that had, because of my like asthma and because of my broken septum, uh, or deviated septum, that's what was causing all the problems from my breathing, and I wasn't able to sleep right because I was having sleep apnea and whatnot. So they did the surgery, which was, by the way, covered under the national health care, and I didn't have to basically pay anything. And I had extra insurance as well, so I actually got money back from going to the hospital for a week to have this procedure done. Great. I I friggin' love the Japanese socialized healthcare, and getting things like this, or having the city hall, uh, uh, the shakusho person come to my house to talk about my health and make suggestions, is a perfectly okay thing. I'm okay with that. They've basically saved my butt many times. So I don't mind. It's good. This is a good thing. This is what people in the United States should be enjoying. The feeling that somebody actually cares about their health. That things might be bad, but you're not going to worry to fix it. Like, I don't have to think when I need a procedure done or something like that. I don't have to think, next, when this is over, am I going to be able to afford my rent next, or my mortgage next month, because I have a huge debt from medical bills. I don't have that. None of that. So I might sound a little bit angry, because I am. That's because my father died because of this nonsense in the United States with the healthcare system. Could have had a very simple procedure for his prostate cancer, which would have probably been completely simple and easy, and he would have lived a long life. But instead, they had to do the old not so good procedure of chemotherapy, which killed him. It's just ridiculous. So, anyways, back on topic. I had a great time talking to the city hall representative about my health, and I'm so happy for it. And I am going to hang this piece of paper on my wall so that I can be sure that I'm eating right and not causing problems with the social health care system. Maybe I'll try to do some sort of exercise. Maybe after tomorrow, after I see the doctor about my shoulder, I can start doing something about it. Anyways, that was what was on my mind today. Thanks for listening. Bye.